Corpers, how are you guys doing? Today's video is specifically for my dear NYSC core members. Serving your fatherland. You know it's very possible for you to make more than the 77,000 the federal government of Nigeria is paying you every month. I know it sounds interesting. In today's video, I want to show you 5 legitimate legal ways of making increased income that can position you to wrap up your NYSC as a millionaire in Nigeria in 2025. So the first tested and proven way of increasing your income potential during NYSC is taking on extra tutoring or lessons, like basically being a lesson teacher for whoever or students in which you currently school. So think of it, you're a teacher, you've been posted to a university. I served actually as a lecturer in Enugu State University of Science and Technology for my NYSC. But maybe you've been posted to a university, you've been posted to a secondary school, you've been posted to a primary school. Can you start taking on extra like lessons or tutoring for students in maths, English, like all the subjects that they are basically interested in learning, verbal, quantitative? You know this thing, you're literally a graduate, so maths is not your problem and English is not your problem, right? Especially for secondary school or primary school students. That is a proven way that I've seen people get or earn more money during their NYSC and do not necessarily have to depend on the 77,000 or whatever it is that the federal government of Nigeria was paying them. So this is tested and proven. There is a ready market for you. There are these students that first of all already respect you. There are their parents that think, oh wow, there's this copper, especially if it's like in a remote place in Nigeria. Oh wow, they give you respect, compassion. Why don't you use all of these praises to get more money into your pocket? Now the second potential business idea I have for my comp member too is thrift business, and this doesn't even necessarily have to be with clothes, but think of it, especially if you served in the West, there are so many things you take for luxury here that may not necessarily be available in these places you are going to serve. A good example is, imagine like makeup. I just use makeup as an example, but imagine there was this like brand of makeup, there was this like, you know, maybe even food stuff or something, or thrift clothes, you know, maybe a particular way of dressing that university students maybe in the north or in the east or wherever it is you've been posted do not necessarily have access to. When you go, first of all, you know, for the camp, and then you get posted for your PPE and just stay there for like a month, settle down before you finally go back. Use that period as a time to just like survey the land. What do you think these students will be interested in buying? Is it makeup? Is it weave? Is it like, let's say, like a particular way of dressing? So thrift clothes, things like that. And then you come back to your home base, Lagos, Ogun, wherever it is you are, and then, you know, you basically want to buy here at a discounted rate because you're kind of buying in bulk and going there to become the businesswoman or man that you are. So think of it, what gap is there in the market in which you are going? Students really like makeup, they like this my shade of lipstick, but there's nobody selling it. Okay, Corpers to the rescue, and you go ahead and you start selling. Or students really like this weave. Auntie, this your weave is always nice, so thank you, my dear. I have a plug, and you're basically the middleman between what people want and what people have. Come back and tell me thank you. Now the third way I've seen people really like maximize their NYSC experience is through content creation. So imagine like, you know, starting like a TikTok account or like a YouTube page where you basically want to take people through your NYSC experience, how it is like to serve in, I served in Enugu State. So imagine that actually there was a YouTube video that documented how it is to serve in Enugu State, especially if you're in XYZ local government. Imagine documenting your experience, and then you use this as a form of like a knowledge tool for people where they can come to your page, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Medium, whatever it is you want to use, and you document your experience there and you use it as a form of knowledge base for people that will come in the future. Because one thing you know is, see, NYSC will never end in Nigeria except the government outlaws it. Number 2 is there will always be people that will be posted to that state you are currently serving. And so what if you curate all of these things? Basically use yourself as the pilots. Curate your experiences, you know, what to know if you are being posted to Enugu State for your service, how to serve well, how to get the best PPA, how to do this and do this and do this. Upload it on YouTube, on TikTok. Use it because people would always come for knowledge, right? And use that as a form to drive traffic, get money, get monetized, and things like that. So think of content creation as a way of making money at the side also during your service to your fatherland. You can never serve your fatherland enough. Now the fourth proven way I've seen people make money during the NYSC as well is freelancing. So this is basically you having to work remote from wherever you are in Nigeria. You know, think of it, you know how to edit videos, you know how to ghostwrite, are you really good with graphics designing? And so you basically take like all of these skills that you have, all of this knowledge, and put it online as a form of basically like just serve as a freelancer to anybody anywhere in the world, whilst you are making cool money from this side. Also, the fatherland is also crediting your account with 77,000 or whatever amount it will be in 2030, because I know people will still come back and watch this video in 2030. I want to say hallelujah, hallelujah. Think of it as freelancing. What skills do you have today, and then how exactly can you use it to earn more money or earn more income during your NYSC year? The fifth and final way I've seen people really cash out during their NYSC is by selling food. It's very funny, but think of it, can you start a food business, especially if it's in an area where there is demand but there is a missing gap, right? There's a gap there. So basically people want to have small chops, shawarma, all these things that people like spending money on. You are not spending money on it though, because you have watched my YouTube videos and you realize that it's good to save and invest. So you as an NYSC couple, you are not spending money on it, but you are taking the money from people that want to spend money on it. So basically it's the demand for food, maybe small chops, cakes, think of it, drinks, think of it like that, right? And there's no one meeting that demand, so you can take it as an opportunity to, if you already know how to do it, good for you, so make it yourself. If not, you could always be a middleman that goes, buys from those that have it, and then basically supplies it to those that want it, right? So far it's not like prohibited, legal, wherever you are. I think food is always something that people would always spend on food. Even me, in as much as I'm saying save, I eat every day. Sometimes I eat twice, 3 times a day. So I always spend on food, right? So think of it, people would always spend on food. Food is what people need to survive. So you could always use this as another opportunity as well to make good money, in addition to the 77,000 that your fatherland is giving you every month. I get corporations, right? It depends solely on the amount you're making from your PPA, from NYSC, from your allowances, from your parents, things like that. You could always use your time, use your talent to make extra income in this season. So think of it, what talents do you have? What's the opportunity? What's the gap where exactly you've been posted to, and use that as a form of inspiration or something that can just spark up an idea in your head and start making money from it. So I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things from this video. Now, the idea that might come to your mind might not even be part of the 5 things I've said, which is fine, right? But you also want to just, your brain needs to be working. You're not a graduate, your brain needs to be thinking hard. Get the point, right? So use your brain. Anyways, forget the bands. You could always make money from wherever you are. Just think of it, what exactly do I have within my means that can use, that is basically a gap to people, and use that as a form of income. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Send it to all the core members that you know God is watching you. Send it to anyone you know will learn 1 or 2 things, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.